Last but not least is Jory Shive. Jory is a senior in the college, double majoring in biology and Spanish as a pre-med student. She currently serves on the GAP board as the co-director of admitted student outreach, is the president of the Georgetown University Pre-Medical Society, and previously worked within the Georgetown University Student Association. Originally from Dallas, Texas, she studied abroad in Salamanca, Spain during the fall of her junior year to pursue her goal of becoming a bilingual doctor. She loves food, working out in Yates, and road tripping across the United States. Jory has spent her last few summers working for an orthopedic surgeon and exploring Colorado with her family. After graduation, she will be applying to medical school and return to her beloved home state of Texas for a gap year. Jory will spend this time working on various research projects at UT Southwestern. Please welcome Jory Shive.
I did not want to come to Georgetown. At least I didn't think I did. Coming from Texas, it really just wasn't on my radar. And though I had a wonderful time on my 8th grade trip to DC, I had and still have zero interest in becoming a politician. So why would I go to school in the nation's capital so far from home? Luckily, my mom convinced me to at least visit the school. And that visit showed me every reason why I needed to come to Georgetown. My dad and I arrived to campus with absolutely no plan and no tour scheduled. We decided to walk around and ask anybody we saw to tell us their favorite aspect of Georgetown. The common theme we heard was the people, and it checked out. Everyone was friendly, smart, and interesting in different ways. Not one student was too busy to answer my questions, and most hung around for an extended conversation to talk about why they love their school and its people so much. So I went ahead and enrolled, and I started to feel at home when on the first day of my Introduction to Biology course, Professor Heidi Elmendorf told our 200-person class to give her a couple weeks and she'd know everybody's name, and she wasn't bluffing. Similar to other highly academic institutions, our professors, such as Professor Elmendorf, are renowned researchers. What sets them apart is that they are equally devoted to their undergraduate teaching. Professor Elmendorf took the time to actually get to know us, and professors across disciplines followed suit. In my class on neurological disorders, my two professors, Neil and Wong, were just as excited to hear possible experiments from us students as they were to share their expertise on a neurological disease. We learned a general overview of a disease and were then asked to hypothesize how to move forward in treating a hypothetical patient. This strengthened my grasp on the scientific process, and it forced me to engage with questions that don't yet have answers. I have always loved observing and memorizing scientific fact. But this class made me realize the immense need to interact with science, to question it, and to think critically about how a disease spreads. After studying Spanish all my life, I knew wherever I wanted to major in Spanish as well as biology while completing a pre-medical track. I also knew I wanted to study abroad in a Spanish-speaking country. So it figures that one of my favorite Georgetown experiences was attending our medical program in Salamanca, Spain. And I'd like to share what made it so special. Though I had never even been to Europe, I went ahead and applied to live with a retired couple in Salamanca for the fall of my junior year. My dad flew to Madrid with me, and after our 2.5-hour bus ride to Salamanca, we met my host parents, my new padres españoles. I never felt more welcomed and reassured than when we all sat down to lunch and I translated back and forth among the three of them. My host family has been hosting Hoyas for over 16 years now, and they could not have been more excited to grow their Georgetown family. I have no doubt they opened their home and their hearts just as widely for every Hoya, both to those that came before me and to each one that will follow. To my surprise, a 24-year-old boy from Taiwan named Marcos and a 17-year-old girl from Amsterdam named Charlotte had also been assigned to live with my new family. Though I had always studied Spanish, I had rarely been asked to converse in it. With English forbidden in the household, the training wheels came completely off, and I quickly learned to express myself in this other culture. Our little international family had lunch and dinner together every day, and each of these meals often lasted for over 2 hours. Jokingly reprimanding Marcos when my host mom thought he had not had enough of his dinner became one of my favorite activities. I had the opportunity to volunteer at a small school in the town and to serve as the token English speaker. I rotated between a class of first graders and another class of sixth graders. I was charged with creating a weekly syllabus for the older students, and I was able to watch their English-speaking confidence grow, which was extremely rewarding. I didn't have as much success with the younger ones, but they did learn a dance to Santa Claus is Coming to Town purely for my benefit, and having no idea what they were actually dancing to, their performance was one of the most adorable showings I have ever witnessed. For the medical portion of the program, I learned about the intricacies of the Spanish healthcare system as well as basic medical vocabulary. Facing topics such as drug demand and ER visits, I became increasingly aware of the significance of patient education and the differences between their healthcare system and ours, which I believe will equip me to better pursue my dream of being a physician. Georgetown's amazing program director in Salamanca, named Marina, tirelessly worked to make sure we got what we wanted out of our time in Spain. She established a program with some Spanish students studying translation, and these students were the friends that Georgetown provided for us to help ease our transition into this new culture and place. And I will never forget those friendships that I made. A big part of why I want to be a doctor is because I consider myself to be a people person. So I really wanted a school that would introduce me to people from as many different backgrounds as possible. Studying abroad allowed me to branch out into an entirely new population, but I didn't have to leave the hilltop for a good variety of people. Georgetown has exactly the diversity that I was looking for, and I was thrilled to come back home to my Hoya family. Fall of my freshman year, the diversity I witnessed during my initial visit grew as I interacted with more people. Each student I met had a completely different combination of hometown, major, club, and career track. 4 years later, I still can't give you two names whose Georgetown experiences match up. Let me tell you about a few of my closest friends, all of whom I met on my freshman floor of Darnell. My current roommate, Erica, is from Short Hills, New Jersey. She served on the board of the Georgetown University Student Investment Fund, and in the McDonough School of Business, she double majored in finance and international business. Next year, she will be moving to New York to work in healthcare investment banking at Bank of America Merrill Lynch. Amanda was born in Monaco and now lives in Colorado. She is a member of the student-run EMT group, Georgetown Emergency Response Medical Service, otherwise known as GERMS, and she majors in international health in the School of Nursing and Health Studies. Kevin, from Boston, is majoring in international politics with a foreign policy concentration and Arabic minor in the School of Foreign Service. He has served as editor-in-chief of one of our school papers, The Voice, and he's one of the only 6'4", blue-eyed, red-headed guys I know to have studied abroad for a semester in Jordan. Tommy, a fellow Texan hailing from Houston, studies economics in the Georgetown College and has been heavily involved in Georgetown ROTC, serving as head of training and operations. This upcoming year, he will be commissioned as an officer in the United States Army. What's great about our clubs, being the driving force of student life, is that Ultimate Frisbee, the International Relations Club, and GERMS are all on the same social level. You can follow whatever interests you want, and instead of isolating yourself, you end up creating a web of extended and overlapping social networks. Moreover, the ability to pursue any and all interests defines Georgetown. It allows each student to be completely different from the next, and since everybody's different, the campus is uniquely united. Deciding to leave Texas for college was a difficult decision I'm glad I made. Attending Georgetown has bonded me with people that lead all kinds of lives, has inspired me to continuously explore my own interests, and has fully prepared me to fulfill my goal of becoming a doctor. Though we blaze our own trails, feelings of inclusion, encouragement, and self-realization make our experience all the same. Hoya Saxa.